Alright, I'm back. Been on holidays. That's one thing I like about winemaking is you can go on holidays and you can just leave it. Well, most often anyway. So, the pumpkin mead. I'm going to rack it out of there because it's settled out. You probably can't see it, there's a little fine layer of gunk on the bottom. So I'm going to rack it out and kill the yeast and stabilise it and then bottle it tomorrow, so I'm going to let it sit overnight. But I'll rack it out, show you it clear, then we'll have a taste. Alrighty, there it is. You see how it's opaque, not clear? That's because I can't actually siphon very well. When I tried to start the siphon, I stuffed up and it broke, and the siphon and all the wine ran back down and stirred up the sediment in the bottom. So I'm going to have to let it settle and clear again. But what I'm going to do this time is going to cheat. I have my favourite, Turbo Clear. It's a two-part thing, it's just a clearing agent. So what I'll do is I'm going to add to this wine, I'm going to add a Camden tablet, crushed, and some stabiliser. Probably one Camden tablet and probably say half teaspoon to a teaspoon of stabiliser. And stir that in really well, and that'll kill the yeast, and that'll also help give it longevity. Stabiliser makes it live in the bottle a lot longer and not go off. Once that's stirred in, I'm going to add the Turbo Clear, and then I'll let it sit again overnight, and that Turbo Clear should bring the sediment out, so I'll let it sit overnight or for a couple of days till it's clear, and then I'll bottle. The only other thing that I might do to this is I might sweeten it, depending on how it tastes. So I'll sweeten that just before I bottle, and that's one reason you need to add that Camden tablet, because it will kill yeast. If you add sugar or anything to that that's sweet, like honey, it will, if there's any yeast that's alive in there, it'll allow it to re-ferment, and it'll re-ferment in the bottle, which is not good. So, taste test. I'm not sure about that one. Not as bad as I thought it might have been, but I don't think I'll put that in my favourites list. But anyway, it's a good one to give away to someone. It's the best thing about bad wine, you give it away, keep the good ones for yourself. I will say though, it does distinctly taste of honey. You can certainly taste the honeyness of the mead in there rather than, you know, the sweetness of sugar. I don't think I will sweeten it because it's quite sweet. Remember when I made it, I may have added too much honey to start with, and the specific gravity is way at the top. I think it's too alcoholic as well. There's too much alcohol in there because I added too much honey, and it's probably a little bit too alcoholic for me. It's a little bit too strong in the alcohol flavour, and there's not enough of the basic flavour coming through. That's probably why I don't need to sweeten it as well, because I added too much honey at the start. The yeast would have basically got drunk and stopped, you know, died because of the alcohol content in the wine. So if I had added less honey, I would have had probably a better flavour of wine with that would have been drier now, and I could have added sweetener to it afterwards just to get that sweetness back. Or I could have added a Camden tablet earlier in the fermentation process and killed the yeast before the alcohol content got too high. So, you live and learn. Actually, I would like to say that, well, that wasn't my favourite one. It's beginning to grow on me. Yeah, I'll sort of sit back and run the tongue over it. It's not that bad. Maybe just dying for a drink.